Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or massages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot.
Depot with the beat.
May your comings and goings be forever covered by the grace of the Most High. When in doubt, go within. Big Cat wave, Athena. Just giving it a hot minute for the cats to assemble, darling dears, and then we will press on at a hot trot. Because, darling dears, not every loss is a loss. Some are blessings in disguise. Some things were snatched because they were killing your light. Spirit didn't take them. It rescued you. You was on a rescue mission, darling dears, and don't you ever forget that. When you are chosen, your ancestral team will come for you. Today's transits are ruthless. Truth is being exposed. Masks are slipping. And the throne is cleared. If you've been abandoned, betrayed, or blamed, this message is for you, darling dears. Let's dive right in. You have the option. Do you want the dice, the dominoes, the charms, the rune stones? What do you want? First in the chat to tell me what they want me to lead with, darling. Just what do you want me to lead with? I can go with any of them. Everything's a little bit delayed still because we are still in Mercury retrograde. Athena, you want the rune stones? No problem, darling dears. Just give it a good shufty. I've got everything in this bag. Don't ask me what's in there. Don't ask me. I'll get a rune stone. Give it a good shufty. And we'll dive right in. Good golly. And the gosh, lean in, darling dears, lean in. You have manners. This is representative of the Fool card in Tarot, darling dears, in the upright. So it speaks about knowledge, a new level of knowledge that you have acquired. Let's put it here so you can still see it. Leader Dan, Big Cat wave. Yes, as I was saying, it's representative of the Fool card. This is Uranus energy, and you know Uranus. Uranus don't joke, darling dears. It's always having one. Let's talk about Uranus, darling dears, before we press on. Uranus is the planet of new inventions, darling dears, new beginnings. Uranus is representative of the 11th house. This is your social groups, darling dears. It could also represent family wounds within a social group. Listen, my runes, anything does not play. Everything lines up, darling dears. The energy of Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, so it embodies that, but it's even higher. It speaks about the individualism that you had to acquire in order to understand yourself, and your place in this world. Why? Because not every loss is a loss. It speaks about, as I said, within groups, darling dears, lean in, darling dears, because it's so important for you to learn the astrology behind this. Uranus is ruled by you. Uranus rules Aquarius, and it's a fixed air sign, the 11th house. So communities, groups that you've actually lost, darling dears, it wasn't a loss. You had to be liberated. You had to be freed by your ancestral team, your security. Also, the 11th house speaks about what? Money's being paid to you, darling dears. People are going to be noticing your skills. Yes, it could represent fans. It could also speak about awards that you're going to get. Yeah, it also speaks about online. Divine, whether you are online or not, you need to get on there. I'm telling you, we are in the age of Aquarius. Everything's online. Okay, it also speaks about you utilizing some form of technology, darling dears. You're going to be developing new business contracts. Okay, the 11th house Aquarius energy also speaks about older siblings. There's an older sibling in this community group, darling dears, which has poisoned the water. Okay, all right, let's press on. Let's press on. So it's the energy of the Fool card, darling dears. This is the energy of a 0. 0 is about new beginnings. Okay. Let's press on. Let's press on. Right. We're going to lead with a message before we press on. Let's get the card. Got it. Got it. Because your soul needs to be ministered to today, darling dears. You don't want no one to come through with no full intel. I'm sorry, darling dears, you're a bit late for the dominoes. Athena already said the runes, and we had to go with who spoke first. First card out the deck, darling dears. You are a stargazer. Continue to what? Set your sights higher. You was not meant to stay in that pool, darling dears. And divine is about to lift you up. Remember, the 11th house is about accolades. It's about awards. It's about what? Prosperity coming towards you. The energy of the 11th house is a lucky house. Just like the 5th house is extremely lucky, darling dears. And it is in juxtapose. So we can speak about the energy of the 5th house. This is your uniqueness, darling dears. It could involve children. Remember, I told you that. But it's also about you, what? Taking a risk, darling dears. You have to be a risk taker in order to what? Get what you truly deserve. Matthew 6:27. Okay, let's get something for this to stand on. Got it. And we'll take it to the book, and then we will press on. Oh, another one was being revealed, darling dears. Reminding you to what? Hold your space, darling dears. For me, I interpret it as hold your gangster. Hold your gangster. Don't let anybody think that you what? Was pulled from this situation and you must go back. Remember what happened to what? Carol Ann. She looked into the light. And knew that this was a new beginning. Anyhow, she'd turned back, darling dears. She would have been scuppered on the rocks of life. All right, let's press on. Let's press on. So the Stargazer. Stargazer is on page 78, darling dears. Okay. So this goes to the energy of a 15, and we narrow it down. Let's get the life path number from this. This is a 15. It goes down to a 6. So we have what? You could be a life path 6 or a 33, darling dears. This in itself is what? Venus energy, darling dears. it speaks about your self-worth. It also speaks about relationships, and it also speaks about you don't have a taste for that kind of affection anymore, darling dears. Affection that always comes with consequences and ramifications. Remember, I told you that you could be a life path 6, 15, or 24. It's also representative of the letters F, O, and X. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Taurus is about your self-worth. It's about your possessions, darling dears. It also speaks about what? Open enemies. Venus also rules the 7th house, which speaks about open enemies as well as your relationships, darling dears. Somebody's going for a divorce at this moment in time. Don't look back! If that's what's going on, don't look back. Yeah. Let's carry on with the read, darling dears. We'll go to page 78. For you to screenshot and read at your leisure or your leisure. I'm going to go to the extended message, darling dears. You are on the verge of a miracle. All of your dreams are aspirations, and they're within your grasp, and you are being guided to focus on your vision. The angels are here with you, encouraging you. There is nothing that you cannot have or achieve. There's an opportunity at this time to heal an old wound or pattern or lack, darling dears. Not feeling good enough. Listen, I told you, you are fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. And don't let anyone tell you any different, darling dears. When you are chosen, you have to walk these hard paths. Okay? Okay. Let's look at the Druid. I'm just going to go to the... Okay. It's on page 30. It goes down to a 3. Energy of what? The Empress, darling dears. Knowing your worth. And it also speaks about abundance coming towards you. This is Venus and Earth energy. Wasn't we just talking about Venus? Let's go back to that first of all. With the Venus energy, it tells me that you are a natural healer, darling dears. Your luckiest numbers will be the 3, 6, and 9. The luckiest days will be Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. This particular number is representative of the astrological aspect of a semi-sextile, which Mercury retrograde, allow my tongue, yeah? Allow my tongue, right? As I was saying before, I was re-interrupted by myself. A sextile is extremely supporting, darling dears. It also speaks about your abilities, where you're going to be able to what? Produce results. But you have to what? Stop looking back at what was removed. Remember, I told you that. Okay, the Druid is on page 30. For you to screenshot and read at your leisure or your leisure. It looks like it's reverted here, but it might be round the right way for you, darling dears. But anyway, it is what it is. When the Druid card appears in a reading, you're being guided to dig deep within and hold your station. That's all we need. We don't need nothing more. I told you, everything is a confirmation, darling dears. You are surrounded by what? Jeremiah 9:40. Merchants of slander, darling dears. But let them slander. Why? You are the epitome of what? Being chosen, darling dears. Everything you touch at this moment in time will turn to gold. But don't tarry. Don't look back, darling dears. Remember the rocks of life where they wanted you to be on. Where they would be continually giving it to you without the Vaseline. All right, let's press on. We're going to go with the blue and we're going to take a yellow. Give it a good shufty. Cards are not going together. Listen, they're not really going together, blood. It's like oil and water, darling dears. For you, you had to create a halocene. What's that? Your salt level ain't the same as theirs, darling dears. Their salt level was to what? Destroy you. You had to change many things, darling. Yes, many of you are suffering with what? Physical illness. As the further you get away from what? The loss that you thought was a loss, the better you will be, darling dears. You was in what? In service to situations, people, places and things that no longer serve you. This is why you was rescued. Right. Let's get the first one because there's about 100 here. Right? You keep getting better and better. Not bitter, better. We love that. You are a keyboard psychologist. You found out a thing or two by being what? A keyboard gangster, darling dears. You did. And whoever is speaking on your name at this moment in time is about to reap exactly what they sowed. Right? Didn't I just say about the armchair gangster? All right. Did I not say that they are talking about you? All right. Okay. Let's go to the yellow. Give it a good shufti. Somebody's on the download, darling dears. Listen. Hey, the download could mean many things, but I know what it means to you. Right? Pull this one out as well. OMG! You get the blank card, darling dears. We don't get this often. Whenever you get the blank card, it means that you are about to get whatever your deepest wish is. But you have to what? Hold your gangster. Doesn't come out often, darling dears. Somebody around you was a yes man or a yes woman, but in saying that they was a yes man or a yes woman, darling dears, they was a front stabber. These people don't care, right? They're not a backstabber, they're a front stabber. Go right for the what? White meat, darling dears. They want the white meat. As you continue to what? Learn to walk with the wise. All right, let's press on. Let's press on. Tell us something else. That pain you're feeling, darling dears, you have to remember. You have to feel that pain. Don't distort your feelings with drugs or alcohol or pharmaceuticals. Feel that pain. If you numb it, darling dears, it's only going to come back, and then you're going to have the what? The shame on top of the pain. Feel it. Cry if you must, darling dears. And when you've finished, smack yourself across your face, blood. Smack yourself across your face. Wash your face like David and carry on. Divine has a bigger plan for you. It's a lot of cards, blood. Not taking those because they're having a laugh. Thank you. Didn't I tell you they was talking about you? They haven't stopped talking about you, darling dears. They're going through what? Their ego is being checked. Good. They've got a personality disorder, right? And they've got attachment issues. There's nothing wrong with the attachment, darling dears, as long as you was taking it without the Vaseline. Remember, I told you that. All right. What's on the base of the deck? Let me get them all together. They're going to expose them their own selves, darling dears. Because when somebody tells lies on a big cat, darling dears, they have to keep on telling the lies and remember what they said in order for it to what? Be concrete. But you have to remember, they're only being picked up, right, by the what? Flying monkeys, the Decepticons, darling dears. Those that are going on what? A short trip past the sign that says you can't F off past this point. Remember, I told you that. Okay. Let's go to the decks. Base of your deck, darling dears. You may feel at this moment in time, because we've got the Palace of Pentacles, this speaks about abundance is coming towards you, darling dears, but it also speaks about at this moment in time, you may be feeling like your life is mundane. There's nothing special about it. There's everything special about your life. Everything is special about your life, darling dears. Why? Because where there is life, you still have another chance. Always be grateful every day that you wake up. Not every day you get a second chance. I've told you guys many times, I woke up to a stroke on the 2nd of July 2024. And the only things that I could say was my son's name, yes, and my daughter. I had to leave the hospital to go back to my daughter. I don't know why. They kept me there overnight and I said, I've got to go. I got a second chance at life, darling dears. As have you. Let's see what truth has finally broken through the lies. What truth has broken through the lies? Thank you. Yeah, that's starvation. We love it. We don't hate it. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. We've got the 10 of Swords on its forehead. You had to end many relationships, darling dears. But in ending those relationships, you had to accept the difficulties that came. Why? Because it's change. When we see the 10 of Swords in the reverse, this speaks about you having faith in a better future. Having the faith in the Most High. Stepping without seeing the stair. You will recover, darling dears, from this difficult ending or betrayal. Know this. It's time for you to release that pain and focus on moving forward. Ever forwards, never backwards. In the words of Abraham Lincoln. Trust that this chapter is closing. Why? Because divine is gifting you with a new path. Step into the unknown. What else about their lies? You're getting a new beginning. Tell me something more about the lies. Fell off the back end up there. Effing liar, right? They're immature. We've got the Page of Cups on his forehead. This person is intuitive, but they use it to what? F with you, darling dears. F with you. Never forget you are chosen. Peter 1, verse 9, darling dears. Whenever we see the Page of Cups on its forehead, lean in, bestie. Lean in. This person had some issue, their childhood issues, darling dears, and they used their childhood issues to abuse you with. But remember, when we see the Page of Cups in the reverse, you're about to be vindicated. It's also a reminder for you to what? Hug your inner child. Take the time to hug yourself and remember where you came from is not your final destination. They didn't think you'd get out of this situation, darling dears, but you are about to be vindicated. So whatever lies they told, darling dears, it's not going to stand up. Not under true scrutiny. Not under what? The court in Keitha. Not when you can call your ancestral team, and you can call them at any time. Call them. If you feel alone, call your ancestors. You are never alone, darling dears. You just have to realize that you was the right package at the wrong address. Catlin Day, Big Cat Wave, Bonnie, I see you, Share Bear. Thank you for all of the comments you always leave. We love it. We don't hate it. Somebody's here from a fresh snap. Base of the deck, we've got the Palace of Cups. It tells me that you are highly intuitive, darling dears. It also speaks about your subconscious mind, darling dears. Pay attention, because you will get this in dreams, okay? Pay attention to your dreams. And it's also a reminder, if you are trying to take some kind of alcohol, drugs, or pharmaceuticals, darling dears, it's going to block your blessings. I know it's not going to be easy, but put that shiznai down. Excuse me, I was belching. Listen, it's the truth roof. Pinky's up. Whatever they said, darling dears, will be exposed. But you're not going to be there for the vindication, darling dears. You're too far ahead. Your frequency is not on their level, darling dears. When we see a page, somebody is going to try and wreck you from the inside out. It could also represent children. Okay, let me go to my next question. Let's see. What karmic weight was you forced to carry when they gave you drapetomania, right? The overwhelming urge to run away like Tinky Winky. What karmic weight did they expect you to carry? Listen, they wanted you to be confused. We've got the Seven of Cups, darling dears, on its forehead. On its forehead. Some of you were in a relationship, but it was an open relationship, darling dears. It also speaks about the false image that they're putting out about you, darling dears. I told you, you will be vindicated. You have to also speak about what the emotional conflict that they're creating for themselves. Let them create that emotional conflict. You don't have to take a seat at that table, darling dears. Let them deal with it on their own. Some of you are feeling, when we see the Seven of Cups, you felt foolish in love. The energy of the seven is what? Venus and Scorpio energy. This is in the reverse, darling dears. This is somebody that wanted you to be stuck, right? Not being able to have a rebirth, a new beginning. They wanted you to be caught in that karmic loop. Tell me something else, because I don't think that was enough intel. We need more. Give it a good shofty. Good golly and the gosh, darling dears. They wanted to take everything from you, darling dears. They want you to have no form of happiness, darling dears. No idea about how to begin again. They wanted you to be suck? Listen, it's a Freudian slip and it came out. Who's sucking anything? Haven't you paid your knees? I paid my knees. And you know what? Let me just do a thing, because I've been celibate for in September it will be 7 years. And I've been celibate for a whole Saturn cycle. Listen, that wasn't easy, darling dears. It wasn't easy. Not because I was tempted. There's nothing out there that can tempt me. But it was, how can I put it? When you are celibate, darling dears, especially if you have children, you put your full attention on those children, and they were ungrateful. They're telling lies, darling dears. Spilling the beans. Sun energy in the reverse. Lean in, darling dears. Lean in. This also speaks about this new beginning that they never wanted you to have, darling dears. As I said, they want you to stay in that karmic loop. Whenever we see the sun energy, darling dears, something is about to what? Activate in your life. The dates for the sun is the 23rd of July up until the 22nd of August. So we are still in play, darling dears. They wanted you to lose everything, darling dears. In the upright, this is your children. This is you losing those children. But remember, not every loss is a loss. What else do they want you to carry? Yeah, feeling effed up all of the time, darling dears. This is Pisces energy, the 12th house, darling dears. The house of what? Enemies. It also speaks about confinement. Maybe they wanted you in prison with the prisoners, just like R. Kelly and P. Diddy, darling dears. They wanted you to be caught up in your mind, because Pisces is Neptune energy, darling dears. They wanted you to what? Stay stuck in the patterns of the past, living with karmic debt that you didn't buy, you didn't barter for, darling dears. You took on that karmic debt because of the company you was keeping. Listen, it's happened to all of us, darling dears. Until you know what's going on, they will take you there. They will take you there. Moon energy. When we see the moon, darling dears, it also speaks about you having to separate from a situation. The moon energy is what, skullduggerous? It's back, front, neck, tabbings, darling dears. Yeah. They wanted you to feel less than by their gossip, by the things that they was perpetrating in their hemisphere. The mud hut at 911 Freddy Krueger Avenue, 2 streets over from the loser lane in the district of the damned. Imagine that, darling dears. Imagine that. This also speaks about these enemies are going to be revealed to you, darling dears. Okay? But when they are revealed to you, you will have a choice. Whether to what? Act on it or to leave them to it. Because karma is most definitely afoot. Okay. Let me get my tiny cards out. What else did they want you to carry? Hey! What else did they want you to carry? Got it. Lies, darling dears. They want you to live amongst the lies they told, darling dears, and take it on like it's your issue and not theirs. What else do they want you to carry? Bad luck, darling dears. Bad luck. If you've got a vehicle, make sure you check it before you drive. They want your car to spin off the road, darling dears. But they can't do you a damn thing. Why? Because you called your ancestral team. They would love for you to spin off into the oblivion. They better what? Learn to beat the traffic, darling dears. Tell them to beat the traffic. What else do they want you to carry? We have the what? The hangman, but it's in the upright. They wanted you to carry all of this, but this is a new perspective, a new idea, a full level of understanding. This is you raising your frequency. This is you no longer being a martyr. This is you giving back the wood. These people took you to your stress threshold, your most pissed offiness. Tell me something else. They wanted nothing but bad luck for you, darling dears, but divine says you will heal. Again, we are back in Aquarius energy, the 11th house, darling dears. New people are coming into your life. Groups, darling dears. Listen, I don't know about groups. I like to meet people one at a time. I'm not interested in groups. Why? Because I'm an ambivert. I can be an extrovert and I can be an introvert, but I'm an ambivert. You will always find me where? At my house or on a plane, darling dears. On a plane. Yeah. Because everything you invested into yourself, that you invest into yourself, divine. I keep saying divine. Meant to come out, darling dears. Freudian slip. Pinkies up, darling dears. A blessing is on this reading. Everything you invested in, darling dears, you will get a return. This speaks about healing. When we see the star card, it also speaks about a benefactor or somebody stepping in, darling dears. Let them step in, darling dears. Let them step in. Do I have another question? Let me give it to you, darling dears. Do you have a question you want to ask about this reading? I'm paying close attention. Bernicia, big cat, wave. Do you have a question? I love you right back, Michelle Nichols. You're right, I am a multi-purpose cat. But don't tell anyone. They're miserable. Don't tell them. Do you have a question that you want to ask about this read? We was asking about the karma that they wanted you to carry. Otherwise, I will press. Oh my God. Mercury retrograde. Allow my tongue, yeah? Allow my tongue. And my punani while you're at it. Listen, I have to protect everything, darling. I've paid my knees, but you know how it goes. right? They want to put these salacious things in your lies. But don't pay. Look, I said lies. Freudian slip, meant to come out. Do you have a question around this, or shall I press on? I don't see any questions. I'm going to press on. You are captivated and you're here. And I appreciate you guys. You don't even know. I truly appreciate you guys. Right? The next question I was about to ask, darling dears, is what do you want to release? This fell out, the 9 of Swords, darling dears. Release any fear of the future, darling dears. Don't allow any of their weapons, their tongues, to what scupper you and put you back on the rocks of life. This is Gemini energy, darling dears. Okay. This is representative of Mercury, darling dears. Somebody's having an issue with their arms, their hands, their shoulders, maybe even their lungs, but definitely their nerves. They're on your nerves, blood. They're on your nerves. You have to remove them from your nerves. They wanted you to fear everything, and in some cases, this is the spellcaster of the cards, darling dears. But remember, nothing will harm you by day or no terrors by night. Why? Why? Because as you walk through the valley of death, okay, they wanted you to be scared, afraid, shriveled, right? This is Mars energy, darling dears. In Gemini, no, you are a gangster, a badassery gangster. And now you're getting options. A new beginning. Venus in Scorpio, darling dears. Scorpio energy is the rebirth that they wanted to block. Why? Because they wanted you to look back. You have to be the Carol Ann. Go towards the light, darling dears. We whittled the number down to the energy of the 6. The energy of the 6 is what? You are caught in attention. They are paying close attention to you, darling dears. And they will remember the lesson that you taught them. They might not remember it in front of other people, but when they get to lay their head down in their mud hut, darling dears, they will remember what they did, and they have to live with it. Their health is not going to be doing too well. They may feel displaced at this moment in time. It speaks about lack of loyalty, right, in their hemisphere. The disloyal are going to be what? Disloyal. Somebody's going to do them what they tried to do to you. Yeah. For some, they're going to meet up on a snake who's a gold digger, darling dears. Somebody, an older person, darling dears, they're going through something at this moment in time. This is Mercury energy. Mercury energy is the Fool energy, and that's what came out in the rune stones. I sound like I'm Scottish. I'm not. I don't know. Mercury retrograde, need to allow my tongue here, right? But don't do nothing else to me. The Fool energy, darling dears, it speaks about somebody could have some mental or physical diagnosis at this moment in time. It also speaks a bit about insanity. Did we not just talk about the 12th house? They're mad, blood. Yeah. A few sandwiches short of a picnic. Yeah. It also speaks about they're going through what? Drug issues, darling dears. I told you, if you are dealing with that, put it down. Why? Because it's not for you. It's for them. They, them, and They, them, and It also speaks about you will be hearing from someone that is telling you that what they're about to take their life. Bestie. Oi. If somebody calls you and says they're about to take their life, it's your responsibility as a spiritual being having a human experience to call 911, or in my case in the UK, 999, and send a welfare check. You don't go there. Why? Because if they can't take themselves out, who do you think they're going to take? Whom? Who do you think they will try to take out? I told you. The Mercury energy in the reverse, this is somebody who is what? Short of, was it? What was I just saying? A few sandwiches short of a picnic, darling dears. They will take it out on you. You don't go to meet no one. You don't go for that last closing talk, darling. You don't. Why would you? When divine is gifting you with a new beginning. Yes, as I said, we saw it with the Palace of Pentacles. You might feel like your life is mundane or even a bit boring. Listen, I live for the boring. Let my life always have boring in it. Yeah? Why? Because nobody can F with you. Why? Because you are living amongst your choices. They wanted you to be afraid, but they didn't know that divine would give you options. But you have to choose wisely of the cup that you drink from. Remember, when Jesus had his cup that he drank from, it wasn't the most fabulous one. It was the least assuming cup he drank out of. Remember, I told you that. Don't always go for the glitter and gold, darling, dears, because you will be scuppered and on the rocks of life. Let's get another deck. I'm going to lead with the pink deck. Let them lie, darling dears, because you will be vindicated, but you won't be there for the vindication. Why? You're off to better things. Leave the worthless and the wicked. Why? Because they always are the consort of liars. Somebody's been lying on you, darling dears. They told some unfathomable lies, right? The progeny, not having it blood. It's a progeny, darling dears. And they forgot you was the prototype. You were sent to break generational curses. Right? No, you can't bloody come back. Come back for what? To finish you off? Oh, hell no. Right? They underestimated your gangster. They have an enemy heart. And what did you say? Miss me with the bull swanky. Listen, we all say it. Let's say it together. Miss me with the bull swanky. And if they're in a third party, the third party is jealous of you, darling dears. Listen, you are the blueprint. You are the prototype. Anybody that goes with anybody that you've been with, darling dears, they're going to be in love with you. They wish they could have you, darling dears. They want to be you. They will start adapting your words. Yes, they will. But it won't work. It will fall flat. Like a what? Imitation Temu. Yeah, they're imitation Temus. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go to the Kipper. I went to move these cards and this came forward. And it's a reminder to what? Hold your space. Give it a good shufti. Never forget, darling dears, you are the red light, green light champion. As am I of 2018, darling dears, when I realized I'm not having it. Not today or any other day. You did those ugly cries already, darling dears. Now it's time for you to rebuild. Remember, we got the 7 of Pentacles in the upright. The choices that you're making, what you're investing in, will pay you in kind. But you have to be focused, man. Fell off the back end, darling. Leave them where they are, right? Leave them where they are, trapped in their mind, darling dears, worried about you. You know, they've only got a rat to talk to. That's what they deserve, right? Imprisoned on this Malkuth as well as Kiefer, darling dears. Focus on your bag. Focus on your bag. As I said, we already had the Uranus energy, Aquarius online. Get yourself online. Everybody's online. You don't know whom your message or gift is going to touch. Fell off the back end, darling dears. Because you're about to go on a journey, darling dears. We had the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. They wished badness on you, but badness is what? Being transmuted and gifted back to them. Pardon me, that was a spiritual belch because I speaks the truth roof. Pinkies up. This is a new beginning. The energy of the 10, darling dears, is the wheel of fortune. Right? You have good luck and dharma on your side. It also speaks about the life cycles that you had to go through in order to get where you are right now. Take this chance, darling dears. The energy of the 10 also speaks about you reaching completion, darling dears. At end of a cycle. Why? Because you've transformed. They expected you to stay the same. Looking back, you haven't got no time for that, darling dears. None. Remember, we speak Latin round here. Vini, Vidi, and Vici. You came, you saw, and you conquered. Let's get one of the Making Magic Oracle cards, and then we'll finish up this read. Give it a good shufti. Final message. You're about to be happy in love, darling dears, but remember the love must come to self first. You can't love anyone unless you love yourself first. And if you love them without loving yourself, darling dears, that's out of control, blood. May God never find me, right? may that kind of love miss me, right? You don't want to be in love with someone and you're not fully sure of the love you hold for yourself. The love where you can walk away from any circumstance and situation and don't look back. Remember Carol Ann, go towards the light. A joyful, stable partnership for some. And good friends, darling dears. The 11th house. Everything that was removed will be replaced. Why? Because you're the star, blood. The silver energy of the star brings good luck and serendipity. Leave the Zemblanitus where they are. People will understand whom you were to them only when you're gone. So don't dither. Don't second guess yourself. They want you to be what? Corner-moon dickhead. And you're not corner-moon dickhead. On that note, I drops me mic. These are sigils, darling dears. You can draw them, keep them on your person, and burn them under the energy of the new moon. New moons are for new beginnings, darling dears. For what you want to come towards you. If you want to know where to get the new moon, go onto astroseek.com and download the moon phases so you're always on point. All right. Have I finished? No, I haven't. The energy of the 6, as I said, is Venus energy, and it also speaks about master number 33, a spiritual teacher, darling dears. Divine is telling you to what? Remain peaceful. They will come and test your gangster. But you have to remember, not everybody deserves a seat at your table. A community will come and try and test you, darling dears. And we had the energy of the feminine energy, somebody who is the head honcho in that situation that tried to bring you down. All right. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat.